We have a session up to 11:20, right, sir?
No, sir. You are invited means expert talk is up to 11 o'clock. And then we have a session, technical session from 11 to 12.
Okay, no problem. So
But we
right
are
now, what I
behind,
will, I will yeah,
we are behind
right
seven
now what I
minutes.
will do is I will, mhm. I will start the session right now. It's get downloaded, and within few minutes I will share that. So
Yes, sir.
I think it would be fine if I start the session without wasting the time.
Yes, sir.
So
So
uh,
let
okay,
me
sir.
first introduce you and then you can start.
Yes, sir.
So I welcome all the participants to this second day of the IC Softcom 2020, and this is our second expert talk on this day too. And today's this speaker expert is Dr. Kiran Trivedi. He has more than 21 years experience as academia, and he is also associated with good companies like Nokia and other. And right now he is working as a professor in Viswakarma Engineering College, Government Engineering College, Ahmedabad. His mainly area of research is wireless communication, but patiently or with patience, he is also working in AI, and specifically his area of research is brain-computer interface. And I welcome Dr. Trivedi to this IC Softconf, and I have already made you the presenter, so you can start your talk, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for the nice introduction, Dr. Patel, sir. Um, I will start my talk without the presentation, right? Or if it gets downloaded within a few minutes, then I will definitely share, or maybe after the lecture also I will share the presentation. That is not an issue. So Tiny ML or the tiny machine learning is basically a term which is recently announced by Google, and that is definitely an interesting part because like these days, most of the artificial intelligence technology are being transformed to embedded systems. So usually, means last in 5 years, most of the AI-related technologies were developed on the computers and used as an app, AI-enabled app for the computers. But nowadays, because of the mobility of the devices or maybe the evolution in the embedded systems, the scientists and all the companies are also planning to port machine learning to the embedded devices. So we have seen very well-known two products in the market. The first one is the Google Assistant, and the second one is the Amazon Alexa. So these are basically the edge computing devices, and that is the best example of machine learning which is running on a hardware, very portable hardware, very small hardware. But nowadays, scientists are actually thinking to port the machine learning and most of the algorithms, which are basically heavy algorithms. If you take an example of a trained model, in your case, whenever you are training a model on a computer, and if you want to get it loaded on the PC, at that time you need to have some sort of GPU or maybe a kind of a very high-end computing devices. But the main concept behind the tiny machine learning was to bring out the lightweight version of the training model or trained model which we developed. So today, what I was planning to share you is one of the hardware which I will show you right now. So this is a very small Arduino. Everybody must be aware about this Arduino. It is Arduino Nano actually. The beauty of this Arduino is that it has most of the sensors. So when we are talking about any embedded system, usually we have to interact with the device. And if you want to load a machine learning model on a very small device, it is something around 3,000 rupees. It has a microcontroller inside that, and most of the sensors like accelerometer, magnetometer, RGB sensor, proximity sensor, even a microphone is also inbuilt on this device. So it's a development board. Now, if we wish to run machine learning, or maybe if you want to make this device an AI enabled, what is possible using that? And that was the main concept behind developing the tiny machine learning concept. So tiny machine learning is basically not a totally different area, but simply how we can minimize, how we can reduce the size of the model. That was the concept behind that. And the main thing is that how it works actually. So let me tell you. it starts with the collecting the data. So usually the initial process of running maybe collecting the data from the hardware is definitely the same as we do in normal other cases. Like we have to prepare a data set. So that is what the very important part of this. So let me start with a very simple steps in terms of like if I want to make this device AI enabled and I want to run a machine learning model on this Arduino Nano or maybe any Arduino like Arduino Uno or whatever devices which might be available in the market. So first what we will do is that we will connect this hardware with the computer and we will open the Arduino IDE, and in Arduino IDE we will be able to see the flow of the data which we have written the program for that, and based on that we will be able to collect some sort of information. Say for example, I want to make this device a kind of a gesture enabled device. Say for example, if I write 2, if I write 3, if I write 4, etc., if I do these gestures in air, maybe by moving my hand, then what will happen is that I need to make a model. So later on, once I load this gesture model, which has been trained on this Arduino device, based on my gestures, it will find out or it will give me the perfect answers. So connecting it with these smartwatches like Galaxy Gear from Samsung or maybe Apple iPhone Watch or all these smartwatches available in the market, what they do actually, once you start walking, actually they identify that you are doing some sort of walking activity. Or maybe if you are running or if you are cycling, within few seconds it will identify that you are cycling right now. So what does that mean exactly is that, so it has a kind of a trained model which has been loaded onto this embedded device in terms of edge computing, and because of that it is actually giving you the perfect answers. So first step is to collect the data. So we will connect this this Arduino Nano with the USB to the computer. We will write a very small program to get the data of the accelerometer. Accelerometer is basically a device which gives you the acceleration in X, Y, and Z direction. It may be a 6-axis or it may be a 9-axis accelerometer, which gives you the acceleration and another values in terms of axis. It is also combined with a magnetometer, so it gives you the magnetic field in different direction. If you keep it in north side, if you keep it in south side, if you keep it on east and west, or maybe the combination of all these sides, it will give you different results. So now, once we get all these data, like acceleration of X, Y, and Z in different directions, say when I will move it like this one, I will do it again, 3 times, 4 times, 100 times. So every time it will generate number of data for X, Y, and Z acceleration in different direction. So this will actually create a kind of a huge amount of data. So maybe if you look at the sampling rate of this accelerometer is maybe it is generating 512 samples in a second. So if you do it for many a times, it will give you a number of values. Now, once the data set is ready, we need to simply transport into an Excel file or maybe any other CSV or like comma separated value files. And now the best part is that you need to upload it to a Google Cloud Collaboratory, which we have an access in terms of GPU clusters which are running at the Google server. So if you have your own PC or maybe having a GPU card inbuilt into that, you can definitely run into your computers. But without looking at to the powerfulness of the computer of yours, it would be better that we will upload these files onto the Google Collaboratory. On Google Collaboratory, the simple fundamental, which is basically the preparation of training the data set, looking at the convolution neural networks or maybe the model which you want to run on specific data, that would be the best example of training a model. So it will get trained and it will give you some sort of output in terms of a trained model. So initially it is basically a kind of a file which is based on the model which you have selected or maybe the algorithm which you have used for training the data set, and based on that it will be available. Now the beauty of this tiny machine learning is that actually Google has very good technology that everybody knows, that is about TensorFlow. So TensorFlow is basically a kind of a technology which helps us to port this model into a different sort of version. So for example, if you want to make an AI enabled Android app, at that time you need to use Android or maybe the TensorFlow Lite libraries for that, and it will get converted into TensorFlow Lite. TensorFlow Lite model is also a very big model. Specifically looking at the mobile phone, it is fine. Maybe if you have a 17 MB of a trained model for TF Lite, then it would be fine that it will run inside an Android app and it will do all the tasks which you are interested. But when you want to load this model like of 17 MB into a small Arduino Nano, at that time it will definitely not work because the flash memory of this Arduino Nano is also very small. And because of that, it is not going to work at all. So TensorFlow and Google has an inbuilt facility in the TensorFlow that now you can convert your model into a different version of the sensors. So this is basically a kind of a concept of converting the available trained model, which is a little bit bigger. There are basically three different sizes of the model which are available in the market right now. When you use different algorithms, different technologies of the or the algorithms which you use. So the first one, whenever you do it for the computers, usually we might have seen that it is something around 170 MB. So it's a very big model. It will run only on the computers or maybe high-end computing devices, or you may need some sort of inference of the model, or maybe using a Jetson Nano library, Jetson Nano board, or any other board which you have. So now the thing is, second option is we can go for an Android device where we can load all this data or the model and we can make an Android app. But our main task looking at the tiny machine learning is that we want to run all these AI model onto a very small hardware, which is having a capability of even a 1 less than 1 MB flash memory. So we want to run all these models onto a embedded system. Embedded system is nothing but some sort of development boards which are available in the market. Say for example, Arduino Nano or maybe Arduino Uno or any other Raspberry Pi kind of a device which you can use for that. Now, once you convert that model, there is an option to convert the model into a header file. So now it comes the fundamental part, what we have learned so far in our past, that converting a model into a header file is basically a single function which has been provided by the TensorFlow. So your 17 MB of the model, or maybe very huge model, which is 170 MB, for example, can be converted into a 16 KB data file or the data set or the train model. So that you need to download. So on the Google Colaboratory, once you convert that model into the model for the embedded system or model for the tiny machine learning, that will be converted into an header file. So header file is, we all know that in C or C++, we had a kind of a header file which has all the functionalities inbuilt into that. Say, for example, console.io.h or maybe bios.h or math.h, which has all the libraries and functions written into that we use directly for our purpose. But this header file is different. This is not exactly the header file what we have seen so far in C or C++ programming, but it is important that it has all the calculation because it is a trained model and it has all the calculations inbuilt into that. So once you get that file, like .h file, you need to download, copy it into your computer, and now go to the Arduino IDE where your Arduino Nano is connected. Now, the first part is that you need to include the model.h file, which you have actually prepared on the Google Colaboratory. So that is very small file, maybe 8 KB or 16 KB of file. And this 16 KB of file will now do wonders. Wonders in terms of, now you write an Arduino program that if this sort of the data, which is an input from the sensor, and if this is some sort of gesture, then what I want to do. Say, for example, if I want to do a gesture of 2 right now, the model will get the data as an input, which is an unknown data, maybe the testing data, what you can call as. So this unknown data will go to that model, which is basically the model.h library file inside your Arduino Nano, and it will give you the output because it has been trained in such a way. Because initially what you had done is that you had collected number of data from the accelerometer. All these accelerometer data have been uploaded on the Google Colaboratory and it has been trained. After getting very good accuracy in terms of training data, you have prepared a model, which is basically the TensorFlow model or TensorFlow Lite model. TensorFlow Lite model has been converted later on to a header file or maybe the .h file, which is very small version of the trained model. So this very lightweight model, which is already trained, we have ported it onto the Arduino Nano, and which Arduino Nano now is running that model onto that. So the fundamental concept behind tiny machine learning is basically reducing the size of the model based on the requirements. So now what you can do is, say for example, if you want to make an interesting AI project for this embedded system, is that it has lots of sensors. Say for example, if I want to make a project for, say for example, COVID detection. These days, everybody is working on some sort of solutions to find out the solutions of the problem related to COVID. So I have seen a very good, interesting project which is made on this Arduino Nano device. That in some of the university, a student had made a wristwatch which is having this sort of Arduino Nano, and it has inbuilt microphone on that. So while wearing this smartwatch or maybe a kind of a wristband or with Arduino Nano, if somebody is actually sneezing or having some sort of coughing or something like that, it will actually identify the voice. And based on the voice sample, this microphone will take the input. And already there are lots of data set available on the internet for COVID coughing and all these things. There are lots of voice samples available. So using those samples, you can definitely train, first of all, them on the Google Colaboratory, get a model which is already trained, then convert into a header file and then load it onto the Arduino. So that is what an interesting part in terms of making a very cheap device. It's only 3,000 rupees. So you can make a completely running AI embedded device or maybe edge computing device, which actually helps you to find out. So based on that, you can even generate lots of different outcomes out of that. Say, for example, if somebody is sneezing and if you find that the person is having a kind of a coughing, which is maybe found in a corona patient or maybe a person having some sort of infection. So that will give you some output. Based on that, you can even blink the LEDs or you can even send a message or something like that, because this is having a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity also. So even you can upload them. Say, for example, if you are wearing this device and if you are moving into the city, and whenever somebody comes near to you and the voice sample gets actually detected in terms of coughing or something like that, at that time, it will identify and it will upload the data to some server. So you may have a kind of a location-based crowdsourced data where everybody is uploading onto the server that in this particular area, there were more number of people who are having coughing or something like that. And out of all these coughing samples which has been received, it will actually identify that maybe this is not a normal coughing of the person, or maybe this is absolutely normal. It does not have any infection or something like that. So just by having using the available technologies, there is nothing new in tiny machine learning. Tiny machine learning is simply about importing the huge model onto a very small device, and that is what the TensorFlow is actually helping us in doing that sort of thing. So this TensorFlow examples are available on the internet. Even the tiny machine learning sample codes for different sensors are also available. The best example I would like to mention here is that Google itself has made a very good example of identifying the colors not from the camera but from the RGB sensor itself. So in most of the AI related presentations or lectures or student examples, we might have seen that everybody is trying to detect something based on the camera, which is connected with the Raspberry Pi or maybe with the computer itself. So if you put something in front of the camera, it will detect the object. So maybe if it is banana or if it is an apple or something like that, but that will be identified using the camera and the CNN model which is running inside the PC. But if you want to find out the same fruits using this sort of device, how you can do? So Google has made a very interesting example of using the RGB sensor. It is basically a color sensor. So red, green, and blue. These are the three different colors this device can identify. So now, how you can do that sort of project? So the best thing is that, say for example, I want to collect the data using this device for different fruits. So what I will do is I will connect this Arduino Nano with my computer, and I will keep a banana in front of this RGB sensor, and we'll take the data. The data will get collected, and based on that, I will put another fruit like apple, banana, or maybe a kind of a tomato or something like that. I will take various readings for all these, and will upload all these data set to the Google Colaboratory, and finally I will train a model. Once I will have the header file ready, converted for the Arduino Nano, and then I will load into the this Arduino Nano BLE Sense. Now, what will happen if you have the model which is already running? You bring any of the fruit near to you, and you have all the LED options that if you want to make the LED green, for example, if it is for green apple, or maybe it is yellow for banana, or maybe red for tomato, and just simply by bringing the different fruits, you can identify even without the cameras also. So there are various ways of doing
Sorry
the
for
same thing.
interrupting, sir.
But yes, sir.
We have only 3 minutes now.
Okay, sir, no problem. So I'm just about to end this. So I will suggest the attendees that if you want to do something different based on what you are doing right now in terms of AI on computing devices, but it's very interesting to play with this sort of very small hardware and running the machine learning models on the Arduino BLE or something like that. It's available and you can buy it and you can run it. The beauty of this device is that it has everything inbuilt. So Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, even it has got something about the BLE also. That's a new concept of low power Bluetooth concept, and you can connect n number of devices. It has all the sensors which I have mentioned, like microphone and RGB sensor, proximity sensor, and accelerometer, gyroscope, pressure sensor is also available there on this device. So we have sources of data. You can make some sort of IoT enabled project, and this sort of IoT enabled project can also be an AI enabled. And the beauty is that simply you can run it on a very low power device, very low cost device, and a very small device. It is simply a kind of a 1.5 inch long, and it's all about tiny machine learning that I would have actually demonstrated you some part, but because of the time constraints, we are not able to show everything. But definitely, I have some sort of links of my webinar, wherein which I have actually demonstrated the complete process of this. So I will share it with the participant, or maybe I will share it with the sir, and he may share with you also later on. So it has got all the details about how the data has been captured and trained and everything. So just looking at the time constraints, I will finish now. Thank you so much, sir, for giving this opportunity to talk, and sorry for not able to present the presentation. But I think it was better to run.
Sir, we do not require your presentation PPT because your talk is like very interesting always.
Thank you,
So
sir.
if any participant or conference delegates have any kind of question, then they can post it in a chat box so that we can ask to the Dr. Trivedi. So there is no question, but
No
I have
problem, sir.
just
Yes.
one like a doubt, not a question. That as I am a computer science professional, and if I want to work in like a tiny ML machine learning,
Yes.
then do we require the knowledge of like electronics engineering?
No, sir, not at all, not at all. Because with all the Arduino devices, like say for example, if you buy this device, once you connect with that, the library and everything gets downloaded. With that, there are some simple codes. Like if you want to get the sensor data, it is simply calling the sensor part and getting the analog data from the sensor itself. Once
Okay.
you get all these things, you can definitely record them. So there is no need of electronics knowledge. It is simply about getting the data. So the best part in this sort of embedded, you need not have to connect all these sensors because they are on board itself. They are
Right.
on board. So there is no need of electronics knowledge, which how you will connect them and how you will get the access to those sensors. But they are all inbuilt. And there are all the sample codes which they provide initially for the beginners, that if you want to get gyroscope data and all these things. Even the AI will help you to identify the direction also by wearing this sort of device, that you are moving in that direction or this direction, even without Google Maps. So
Right.
this is a kind of very interesting. The more the creativity, the more the outcomes. That's all
Right.
about.
Creativity is like one of the most important skill nowadays we
Yes.
all require. One more
Yes.
question came from the Pujan Dalal, Miss
Okay.
Pujan Dalal. Would we face lagging on running edge device on such 8-bit or 32-bit microcontroller? You
No,
can see the chat in a chat box also.
yes, sir. I can see. Let me check that. I think the question is not published, and I'm not able to see that. But anyway, when you convert the model actually into the header file or maybe a tiny machine learning model, it is converted in that sense that it will not allow you or any, it will not give you any delay in that sense. Usually, we find that when you have a model which is running on a Raspberry Pi, sometimes we may find that it takes time because it does not have that sort of computing facility in terms of GPU, until and unless you have some sort of Google Coral or something GPU stick connected to those hardwares. But in this case, it is already a low power, low computing device, and the model is also itself a low. So 8 KB, 16 KB data will not take much time to give you the outcome. And what I have observed personally, that I have created a kind of a sign language using the model which I've loaded on that, and it works very fast. By doing simply a gesture, it starts typing everything. So still, as per my observation, I have not found any delay into this.
Thank you very much, sir. So I think there is no any more questions. So I think we can stop here because we have a time constraint, and the other speakers or other participant are waiting for the next meeting. So thank you very much, sir, Dr. Trivedi, and for this your valuable informative sessions, very knowledgeable sessions. We really learn many things, or we inspire at least to work in a tiny machine learning. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We'll join in a next meeting, sir. And
Yes,
I
sir.
thank you all to the all participant of this IC Softcom, those who have really here join in this meeting. And I request all the conference delegate to join the other meeting of this technical session A2. Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.